There's no shortage of strange websites in the internet, but how many of them require a physical security code to get access to? Not many, right? Well, let me introduce you to 4.com, a strange website hiding God knows what. When we go to the homepage, one of the only pages for that matter, we are greeted with the word 4 in a bold, capitalized font. The site has been up since 1995, but the copyright is still up to date, as we can see at the bottom of the page. So what happens if we try to log in? We get asked to type in a username, a password, and a 6-digit OTP code. Since we don't have the details, let's see if the info page has anything that can take us closer to revealing the site's secrets. But nothing. At one point in time, you could apply for an account, but due to the invite queue currently being full, they have closed this option for the time being. There is no one to speak to about this, as they say that if you contact their support email, then you have to provide a username along with the issue that you're having. And finally, they tell us more about their OTP, which stands for one-time password. To generate one of these passwords, you will need a physical security token, which gives a 6-digit display with your code on it. They state that mobile phone OTPs are not currently available, which begs a bigger question here. What is so secretive on this site that they need to secure it with a physical password device? It might only be me, but the only thing I have a physical OTP device for is my internet banking, and even that can be verified with a phone nowadays. So what's the deal? Doing some digging, we can discover that it is run by an organization called 4Net Information Network. The email that registered the domain is also not the one that you should contact for support, but rather it belongs to someone named Chrissy. So now that we have some information on who owns the website, let's try and pin the company down. Doing a Google search, we can't find much information on them, but there is some closer to home. If we go to the Wayback Machine and take 4.com back to 1996, we can discover that it used to look a hell of a lot different. The title was 4Net, and it gives us a lot more information on the company behind it. According to the website, 4Net is a full-service internet access provider for Massachusetts. 4Net is able to supply the end user with sufficient power and the necessary tools to cruise the internet with ease. It seems that back then, it was much easier to log onto the site as well, as there may have been an option to log in as a guest. So when did it change to this strange looking homepage? It turns out it was as recently as 2021. Up until around 2012, the website belonged to this 4Net company and was used to promote the service that I previously spoke about. For years after that, 4.com redirected to cooks.com, a website that advertised recipes. Funnily enough, this domain was also registered by Chrissy and belongs to 4Net Information Network. So when the site stopped redirecting to cooks.com, this is when the strange page was put in place. Since we are left staring at a login screen with no leads, it seems as though we may have to let this mystery rest. Is there truly no way in to find out what secrets are behind the wall? I suppose we could find out soon, but for now, 4.com remains an internet mystery. Now, this one may be less disturbing, but it's certainly interesting nonetheless. I'm sure a lot of you are interested in lost media, so let me introduce you to a piece that was recently discovered. Eddy Meadows, Break the Chain. A CD that has been listed on eBay for the low price of $4.7 million. But why is it listed so high? Well, this is the only version of this album that is available to purchase. Doing some digging, we can find an Amazon page for the album, but there are no copies being sold. And with the record label that backed the CD having shut down in 1994, our only option if we want to listen to the elusive tracklist is to cough up a few million of our hard-earned cash. But what if this is just a troll? Someone made a fake CD and listed it for a high price hoping to get the attention of internet sleuths. That could have very well been the case, until the album was discovered on the United States Copyright Public Records System. When you search for his name, the site will return 5 results: Southern Pride, Phoenix Entertainment Group, Let's Not Talk About Texas, Further Down the Road, and finally, Break the Chain. From this entry, we can find out that the copyright claimant is the previously mentioned Phoenix Entertainment Group, and that the date of publication was the 9th of May 1992. But with that, we reach a dead end. No more results with any sort of substance show up when you search his name. So is this the end of our search? Not exactly. During Reddit's search for the album, they found a Facebook account belonging to an Ed Meadows. Originally, this was thought to have just been a coincidence, and that he didn't have anything to do with the man in question, but one user decided to dig through his profile, and it would turn up some important evidence. A photograph of Ed Meadows from back in the day. And what do you know? This is the man that we've been looking for. Now, just a disclaimer, please don't stalk this man's profile and certainly don't message him, as he is just a normal guy who probably doesn't want to get spammed by internet detectives. I understand we all want this solved, but people have already messaged him, so there's no need for more. And what came of those messages, you may be asking? Well, as far as we know, the Redditor who messaged Ed has yet to get a response. At the time of writing, it has been 15 days since he was messaged, so who knows, maybe he'll get back with an answer that can finally put this search to rest. This is certainly one of the most interesting internet mysteries that I've come across in a long time, and I just hope that one day, hopefully soon, we will be able to listen to Break the Chain in all of its glory. On March 12th, a Reddit user would make a post to r/RBI telling of a strange discovery that they had made. At 4 AM on a Sunday, OP and their girlfriend were smoking in a small, hidden car park surrounded by woods and parks when they approached a bench where they were going to sit. Before they could relax so, they spotted a brown envelope on the bench. It was wet as it had been raining, and it was already open, but on the top, the words "Help, SOS" had been written, and this certainly grabbed their attention. The pair decided it best not to stick around, so they took the envelope with them and speedwalked back home. After arriving at their house, they looked inside the envelope. Inside was an empty wallet and a used pack of cigarette papers. OP called the police, but as is to be expected, as of 2 days ago at the time of writing, they were still to properly investigate and take the evidence from OP. The poster lives in the UK, as do I, and it's no surprise to hear that the police are being completely useless when it comes to this situation. Redditors theorized that this could have been a victim of stalking, abuse, or human trafficking, as it's quite common to leave messages like this in a desperate attempt to get some help and to tell others about your situation. Others thought it less serious, and that someone with schizophrenia had left it on the bench. This is the option that a lot of people will probably choose to believe, as we don't really want someone's life to be in danger, especially if the police aren't taking the situation seriously. And speaking of police response to the situation, an ex-call handler for the English police left a comment explaining how they handle calls like this. They say that there's not really anything they can do, but that it will be logged and that, unless it links to an ongoing case, it's likely that it will be stored and OP will not be told of any updates. Either way, the commenter confirms that OP definitely did the right thing by alerting the police, and that's something we can all agree on. And that's where our story ends, for now at least. OP posted this to another subreddit as well, and mentioned that they had heard loud screams at the spot where they found the envelope in the past. But who knows if that's actually true, as you think that would have been important to include in the original post to RBI. We'll probably not hear an update on this, and neither will OP if the call handler's comment is anything to go off. But this certainly makes for an interesting read nonetheless. But what do you think? Was this envelope left by someone in serious danger? Or is it simply someone playing a prank? Or maybe even a person struggling with mental health issues? I'll be interested in hearing your thoughts on this in the comments. What would you do if one day you received an email? You open it up and it's sent from an unusual email address. It has an attachment. You view the attached video, and it is a video of you, one that you don't remember being taken. Of course, this would disturb a lot of people, but that just sounds like a horror story from your nightmares, right? Well, you'd hope so, but that wasn't the case for one Reddit user. In 2016, a user would take to the advice subreddit to desperately seek answers about an email that they had received. It has no subject, it's from a fake email address, There's no message, just a 30-second video of me, aged 15, on my way home from school answering questions. The post read, "There's no sound on the video for me to know what the context was, and I don't remember this happening at all. I only know when this was because of my hair in the video and the fact I'm wearing glasses. What can I do?" This is a situation that no one wants to find themselves in. To have a random video sent to you 3.5 years after it was taken is the stuff out of a horror movie. OP did the best thing that they could have done and got in touch with the police as soon as he possibly could. Since they didn't view the case as urgent, they told OP that they would be sending an officer to her home to speak to her at some point that day. All she could do was wait around and hope that they could track down whoever had sent the disturbing email. Sadly, that wasn't the case, as OP says that the police were useless. Shocker, I know. A few days after the post, she hadn't had any more emails from the person. Weeks passed and nothing else happened. The post was made in November, and by the end of January, OP said that nothing more came of this, and that they had basically forgotten about it all. But who just sends one video to freak a young woman out? And most importantly, who took it? OP doesn't remember who recorded the video, and although we can't view it now due to it being taken down, apparently she looked straight into the camera at one point. People called her a liar for not remembering it, but I'm on her side here, as I certainly don't remember who was recording a video of me last year, never mind 3 years ago. In one comment, OP mentioned harassment from her ex, which brings up a theory. Could the ex have been the one who sent this video to freak OP out? It's certainly possible. The good thing is that, at the time the post was made, OP was having to stay with a friend or a relative, so she was never alone. This means that whoever sent the video couldn't have done anything to her in person if they wanted to, so that added some sort of safety measure at least. A few months after the post was made, OP deleted their account, leaving us with no more updates and even more questions. Hopefully, whoever contacted them that day stayed far away and that they went on to live a happy and safe life. A huge thank you to my Patreon supporters K4 Silver, Morrigan, Alex Rod, Entrepreneur, and Collect Iki. Thank you to you all for tuning into this video, and if you did enjoy, liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends is greatly appreciated and would mean the world to me. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a good day or night. Thanks for watching.